Are you certain?
Never look back.
Hello guys, this is Learning 5's NA Finals. I am Epic Death Guy, joined by Can Opener Dude.
Welcome everyone! Now that we figured out what the heck is going on.
Yeah, lots of technical issues, some last minute confusion, running around headless, flying through pick and ban already. Why don't we get into it?
Yeah, we see the bands already completely out here. Jace, Misfortune, Varus, Poppy, Jin, and LeBlanc, all very standard bands. Not a whole lot to surprise us there. The Ashe first pick, though, is kind of concerning me. Can you walk me through a little bit why we think that Inspire here has decided to go for the Ashe?
Well, we see the bans of Jin and Misfortune and Varus coming out, so the ADC champion pool has been narrowed down quite a bit already. And it seems that the team TNL decided that they wanted to priority pick that, as there's already 3 ADCs taken off the table.
Okay, fair enough. I haven't seen much of Ashe recently, so I'm gonna trust their judgment there. We do see, of course, the Shen coming in the top lane for the side of NYT. This is very, very strong meta pick, very, very tanky jungler there, or top laner there. Meanwhile, on the other side, we're seeing basically everything else. Blitzcrank, Lee Sin, classic solo queue picks. Don't see them very often competitive, but if you're good enough on them, they can be very, very potent. And if any team is going to show off potent skills, it's going to be TNL. They've made a whirlwind of a run through our show matches so far.
Yeah, but don't count the NY Timberlands out, as they have an incredibly strong composition of just meta slaves so far. Nothing really out of the box, except this Echo Hover. That would be quite interesting, although he's been seeing some more competitive play here and there. A lot of damage on that. But we see the Rengar was picked up, the Shen, which will enable that Rengar to make aggressive plays, and then the disgusting poke bot lane, the Caitlyn and Zyra, probably the most abusive lane possible.
Well, with the actual good ADCs banned out, of course, because Caitlyn is well, basically every ADC that isn't Misfortune, Varus, and Jin is terrible right now. So with the remaining ones, Caitlyn is decent. She's going to be less than useless if Inti health is as good on this Blitzcrank as I expect him to be, though. So meta versus comfort picks is what it's shaping up to be, assuming this Echo does get locked in for KDR, and we'll go from there. That is going to be the lock-in. So we do see the final team comps coming out is going to be Shen in the top lane, Rengar jungle, Echo in the mid, Caitlyn and Zyra bot lane for the side of NYT. Meanwhile, TNL will be getting that Fiora in the top lane to face off against Shen, Lee Sin jungle, Vel'Koz in the mid lane, and Ashe Blitzcrank bot.
Yeah, and the team of TNL has, if you look at their team composition, there's a lot of just really strange picks, but if you think about it, they have a lot of pick with those picks, as they have the Ashe arrow, they have the Blitzcrank hook, and then they have the Lee Sin who can insect someone into the team. Now, it's not like they don't have any team fight at all, though, as they do have Vel'Koz, which is an incredible team fighter, But if you look at the side of NY Timberlands, they have the Shen, amazing team fighting. They have the Echo, amazing team fighting. They have Caitlyn, a very strong, just safe ADC who can team fight fairly well. And then Zyra, a really good team fighter as well. And they have a decent amount of initiation too. So I mean, NY Timberlands has much stronger team fight. But if they get caught out by some of the pick from TNL, they could just lose the game just off of how strong they can snowball with those hard carry champions.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I do not think that NYT has as much team fighting potential as we're giving them credit for. Shen is a very strong frontliner, but he gives very little to the team beyond that initial engage and just standing there tanking things. Caitlyn Zyra are very good in team fights, I'll give you that. But Echo is a horrendous team fighter.
Well,
he has very little sustained damage, and he really can't do much beyond his initial burst. So I really do feel that the Echo and the Rengar are going to be trying to do picks, and that's not really going to suit them very well when going up against comfort picks that have pick priority, like a Vel'Koz, like a Lee Sin, like a Blitzcrank, and like an Ashe.
Yeah, the Rengar doesn't have too much team fighting power, but I disagree with your disagreement, as I think that the, as my phone is going off in the background, I think that the Shen can initiate with a lot of follow-up from the Echo W and the Zyra ultimate and root. So I think that they actually have a lot of good setup and a lot of ways to just like wombo everything down. And I think that with setup, the Echo pick can actually team fight very well, as he has a lot of AoE crowd control and just a lot of decent damage. He can burst down a target and also deal a considerable amount of AoE damage.
Well, we're going to have to see how this progresses then, see which of us is proved correct as this game goes forward. We're going to have to count down the spectator delay, though. So stay with us. We're going to switch back over to our waiting screen and possibly have some music. And we'll go from there once the game gets into the actual game. Stay with us. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting into game here just a second. Once my client lights up, there we go. We are on to the Summoner's Rift as the champions spawn in. This is, again, INT versus NYT. Or INT? Is it INT? I think it's INT. Is it INT?
It's TNL versus
TNL.
NYT.
TNL. Okay, I can say words. TNL, those guys. They are not immortals. Anyway, TNL versus NYT. Those guys. And we're going to be getting into game here. We're going to have some fun. We're going to play some League of Legends. It's going to be a fun time. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I'm pretty hyped. Give us a second as we are finishing up the overlay. Everything was a little rushed last minute, so the names will be added up at the top in a second.
Teams did not get into LCS order, which is annoying, to say the least. Anyway, we saw a bit of an early invade. Nothing really came from it, but they do know generally where... both teams generally know where their opposite number is, so... Vision gained, not much else. As we see the bot lane here, hanging out. So who do you think is going to be the prime gank targets for Sabin and Restless Mofo in this game?
I think that the mid lane Vel'Koz pick is a very immobile mage, so he could possibly be gankable if he is overextending far enough, or the Rengar hits level 6. The Blitzcrank could also potentially roam around, although it's going to be hard for him to get the ganks on the Echo.
Okay.
But I think that mid lane will be a pretty contested area.
Okay. Tell me a bit about how you think the other lanes are going to progress then. If you think the mid lane is going to be the primary focus of the ganks, how are we going to see the top lane matchup going with a carry top versus a tank? And how are the bot lanes going to go with this very pokey bot lane versus this very picky bot lane, as it were?
I think that the bot lane is just going to go in favor of NYT. They should just poke out the opposition. The Ashe Blitzcrank should not be able to fight them back. But they can possibly get poked out, or sorry, engaged upon by the Blitzcrank if they aren't poked down completely. And that Zyra is very squishy. So if the Blitzcrank hits the lockdown, this Ashe will slow the target. And then if it's the Zyra, she has really no way to get out and possibly could get chunked very low or even die.
This is very, very true. Without any sort of real sustain in this bot lane, Habibi Papi and KDR have to be careful that they're not getting caught by these Blitzcrank because they could be deadly to either of them, really, when you're going up against this kind of lane. But we'll have to see how that progresses. How about this top lane, the carry versus the tank? Is that just going to be as boring as it sounds, or do you think some action could actually go down up here?
The Fiora should do quite a bit of damage, but I think that the Shen is safe enough that he won't be caught out and die to it.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So far, not really a whole lot of action. We see the junglers responding to each other's paths. We see Sabin actually invading into Restless Mofo's jungle and taking away those chickens. Nothing really happens other than that, though. Still waiting. That's a lot of damage on Inkspire, though. He's going to get Inspire with an N and not an X because spelling is optional. And he's going to get awfully low. He is going to stick around, though. So that could end up biting him in the behind if he gets caught by a couple more abilities. He's going to play super safe now going forward.
Yeah. And that, like we mentioned, that poke from the Ashe, or sorry, the Zyra Caitlyn onto the Ashe just does so much damage. I mean, it is probably the most abusive bot lane, except for maybe like Varus, which was banned out. So luckily we're not seeing that, but it just takes one engage from the Blitzcrank to possibly turn the tides of that lane. So we could potentially see, you know, any favors towards the Caitlyn Zyra just swing immediately in favor of TNL.
It could very easily happen indeed. One thing I want to point out here is Sideways Horizon's ability to basically just poke the crap at a Neko waifu. There's not a whole lot that he can do in return there because he is melee. He's able to heal up most of it thanks to him having lots of potions, but by the same token, that's just, you know, that's a lot of damage. And eventually he is going to run out of potions.
There's a... That was, anyone watching the stream, that did not happen. You don't need to know what happened, can opener. There was a slight malfunction.
I implicitly trust you.
Don't worry about it. As we see some shenanigans in the top lane.
Shenanigans disappearing in the top lane.
Yeah, everything very, very standard so far.
Yes.
No super incredibly insane things going on.
Yeah, just really, really standard crap happening right now. Basically utterly devoid of good things to talk about as a caster. Jungle matchup, we do see a farm advantage for Sabin, but that's mostly because he's been able to pick up Krugs and chickens basically consistently, as well as picking up the chickens from Restless Mofo's side. So he's got that farm advantage, but it's not a whole big deal just yet, but it can certainly get to become a big deal if he's able to continue to consistently pick up those Krugs and chickens. Really no gank so far, which is surprising me because I would expect Restless Mofo at least to be trying to get a gank off in this early game since Sabin would not be able to. Because, you know, Rengar level 6 power spike, that's going to happen pretty dang soon. So he wants to get those ganks off early, don't you think?
Yeah, the Rengar is trying to just power farm right now and get to level 6, and we see he has a very substantial lead in farm. Not that much in gold, because he is just taking the larger camps. He's only about 200 ahead, but he is definitely power farming on that Rengar. And Restless Mofo could just try to just get some ganks off, but instead is looking to just match the farming, which may come to bite him in the butt, as when Rengar gets 6, it'll probably be a larger power spike for him. In the bot lane,
getting
though.
caught
Yeah.
here. He is going to have to use the heal to get out of that. Inti Health missed the hook there again. So that was another basically Inspire getting poked out for really not a whole lot in return. In fact, he loses a summoner spell. This is a very infuriating lane for him, and Sabin is so close to level 6, and still Restless Mofo continues to power farm for really no reason.
Yeah, and it looks like the side of TNL actually has a CS lead right now. In everywhere but the bot lane. Of course, you wouldn't expect the bot lane to have a CS lead.
That's very, very true.
But we see the Fiora and the the Vel'Koz. They all have just beams and void stuff and get them confused a little bit, but
Yeah.
they are the stronger laners in these matchups, and we see all the strong lanes just winning their lanes in farm right now. And we see the Rengar actually circling towards the mid lane with the ultimate.
That is going to be a submarine coming in for Shen as well. It will be a flash for Sideways Horizon to get him out of there. He will not fall to that gank. That's going to be 2 ultimates used and a flash in return for just his flash. I'd call that a worthy trade, and he still gets out of it.
Yeah, and I just want to make a quick note that we are having some slight issues with the spectator client, as it is stuttering every once in a while, and I'm zooming it up again to catch up to the live gameplay, but I don't think there is a way to fix that, so we're just going to have to battle through it for now. We can try to hope that it gets fixed for Game 2, but for now we'll have to deal with that.
Yeah, one thing I want to highlight here, despite the fact that there is a CS lead in most of these lanes, it's a very, very tiny CS lead. Relatively speaking, Shen is behind D just won. He's behind 200 gold behind this Fiora, which is phenomenal for a Shen. And Echo is about 200 gold behind the Vel'Koz as well. So 200 gold difference between lanes that should be winning very, very heavily is just a testament to how focused and how coordinated this NYT team is in their in their lightning phase abilities.
Yeah, but as we say that, the Ashe actually has caught up in CS to the Caitlyn, and the lane is in a position where it will push back to them, so they can potentially set up a freeze down in the bot lane. So we'll have to see if they seize that opportunity. Although I doubt they're going to be able to freeze against a Zyra Caitlyn with Ashe Blitzcrank. But at the very least, the minion wave will be down on their side, but Rengar heading in the bot lane.
Yeah, Rengar is heading in the bot lane. We're looking at the top lane. Sabin, he sees the gank opportunity, but it is just pretty much fizzling out because Restless Mofo is here as well. He will be protecting his bot lane. He is spotted out, but now the things are going down on the mid lane. This could possibly be a return gank onto Sideways Horizon here. Sabin has his ult available. Obviously, D-Just will not have his, but the Rengar ultimate should be enough to secure a kill on a flashless Vel'Koz if he does push up too far.
Yeah. And he looks like he's going to be in the jungle behind the Vel'Koz. So he might be... Oh, he's taking a really weird path, and now Lee Sin, Restless Mofo, is heading down into the bot lane. He could possibly counter gank it, though. He sees it, and they have to buy time for Sabin to get here. And
here's KDR. He's getting caught by the arrow, and here comes the Shen ultimate down Stranglethorns as well.
Oh, he's coming in the behind.
Inti health is very, very low. KDR is going to have to flash out of here. Inti health will fall, as will Inkspire. Sabin comes in as well as D-Just, and NYT picks up 3 off of the back of a very, very nice counter gank.
Yeah, and I think during that whole thing, there was some shenanigans going on in the mid lane, and both of them burned their ultimates and got very low, but neither of them dying. And it looks like they're just gonna say, we don't need bot turret yet, we're gonna get this Ocean Drake. Now, Ocean Drake is probably the second weakest Drake, but early on, it actually does help your laners sustain up. And if you can get 1 or 2 Oceans early on, it's not actually that bad. It's not Cloud Drake, where it's kind of just useless all throughout the game. Ocean Drake will actually help up early game, and with the poke that they have, the Caitlyn and the Zyra, if they're actually sieging and not taking return damage, they could actually use that to sustain up as well. So it's not that bad of a Drake right now.
Yeah, and it's really not even a bad of a Drake as you continue on into the game, because the more health you have and the more health you're missing, the better the Cloud Drake will be. So for a very
Ocean Drake.
Ocean Drake will be. So as the game progresses and as these scrappy teams go at each other, it will certainly help the side of NYT. I'm going to have to... ranking the dragons from best to worst is basically an objective futility, because if you ask me, I would definitely say that Mountain Drake is the weakest right now, followed by Infernal Drake, and then Cloud Drake, and then Ocean Drake, simply because of the amount of pressure they provide to the lanes that they're in. Infernal Drake is practically useless in lane, and once you've got them, you already have damage anyway, so it just amplifies it. So either you're ahead and the Cloud Drake keeps you ahead. Neko Waifu getting caught with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. He's going to have to do a lot to get out of here. Pops the ultimate. Sabin's in as well with On the Hunt. Here comes a Lifeform Disintegration Wave. It catches Neku Waifu on the very last tick and kills him. Sabin is going to get Insect back into his team. The Stranglethorns is going to go down. Restless Mofo's getting awfully low. D-Just is here as well. He's going to try and pick up Restless Mofo. He will be able to do it, but Inspire is here to look at D-Just. He's going to back off because D-Just already has the Sunfire Cape. He's very, very tanky.
Yeah.
That is going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of TNL.
Yeah, so, right there, the Lifeform Disintegration Ray from the Vel'Koz actually just barely sniped Neko Waifu and got the kill over. And, Neko Waifu actually is building somewhat tanky, so it's surprising how quickly he died as he's going towards the Proto Belt, as well as, an Abyssal after that. But Blitzcrank pulling in the mid lane.
So BB Poppy is getting very, very low here, but he's keeping his cool, and Sabin is able to pick up the kill, followed by another kill onto Inspire. Habibi actually keeping a solid poker face throughout that dive, and he's able to completely turn it around with the help of Sabin and KDR. That was impressive, to say the least.
Yeah, and we see that now this Rengar has 4 of the 6 kills on his team. You know, and is only missing 1 assist, and he's gonna get strong. I mean, he's opting towards a more bruisery build, but this Rengar will get more damage because of his passive for every kill that he has, a unique kill, so that could be different champions. And if we check, he currently has 2 unique kills, so not ideal killing the same targets over and over, but definitely still better than not getting kills at all. And this Rengar could become a snowballing threat because there's a lot of squishy members on the side of TNL.
It certainly is, and Rengar thrives in an environment in which he's able to pick targets. And when you're getting this far ahead, it makes it very, very easy to pick those targets. We've seen Acadian do it, we've seen Moon do it, we've seen the other junglers that EU has that are not as good as NA junglers. So it really is just, you know, it's going to be a good game for Saban if he's able to continue to play as he has been so far.
Also, I just remembered what you said earlier about the Drakes. I want to contest that. I do not think that Mountain Drake is weak at all. I think it is the second best Drake, and it is useful throughout all phases of the game, as you will be split pushing, you will be sieging down throughout all of the game, and later in the game, it'll help you get other objectives, and it'll even help you get other Drakes. So I think that Mountain Drake is actually the second best Drake, and I think Infernal is just, like, good. It gives you damage on everything. It's just, yeah, like, that's like saying you don't want extra you don't need to build damage items anymore because you already have damage. Like, more damage is always nice.
See, you're kind of proving my point, though, because the point I was trying to make is that you can put the dragons in any order you want and be able to argue it just as efficiently, because they all are actually equally balanced at this point. You just have to know how to use them. You get 3 Cloud Drakes, and you're going to be going so friggin' fast that you're going to be able to out-rotate basically anyone.
Yeah, but if you get 3 Mountain, like, that's like saying you get 3 of anything, but if you have, you will have certain strengths in other things, but the strength from 3 mountains is much stronger in comparison. 30% bonus damage to all objectives is by far more valuable, in my opinion, than the extra movement speed that you get out of combat.
Alright, then riddle me this. If you have that extra damage to tower, but you can't get to towers because the other team is out-rotating you and defending the towers faster than you can push them, you can't use it.
Well, they wouldn't have a bunch of dragons because all the dragons would be mountain dragons.
You can have 6 dragons in a game.
Okay, but if you have the mountain dragons, it also helps you pick up the cloud drakes, which, again, it just gives you more objective control.
Now this is post Lore of Nipsum, and you're you're diffusing the point. Anyway, we got some League of Legends to play, or not post Lore of Nipsum, post Ipsum Factum. But anyway, League of Legends is happening. Let's take a look at the farm right now. As far as it stands right now, farm has pretty much stayed as we've expected it to be. Fiora has picked up a much stronger gold lead than Shen, but that's to be expected in a carry versus tank role. Shen will just farm as he split pushes come late game. And otherwise, farm is relatively stable. We see that there is a farm advantage for Habibi on this Caitlyn, which is to be expected again. And there's also a farm advantage for the Vel'Koz over the Neku waifu Echo, which again is to be expected.
Yeah. So
really not a whole lot happening. Where do you think these power spikes are, though? Because we see Neku waifu has completed the Proto Belt. His opposite number has completed the Morello Namicon. So those combined with the ADCs, where do you think the item breakpoints are for these teams?
Well, right now, the Caitlyn actually isn't incredibly strong, as she kind of has this little dip where she just doesn't have, like, she has early base damage, but then she has this little dip where she doesn't have her damage from her items, and her base damage just isn't as valuable. And I mean, she still definitely does damage, and if she can get a few crits off with that Zeal that she has, she can definitely chunk someone out really low, but she's not going to have an incredibly high amount of sustained damage. While Ashe already has the Essence Reaver, for all that CDR, she's going to be able to get a lot of Enchanted Crystal arrows out. She's going to be able to constantly throw volleys out. And, oh, mid lane, Djust with the Flash Taunt.
Flash Taunt catches Sideways Horizon. The Sabin pops on the hunt, and there goes the Enchanted Crystal arrow we were just so wonderfully talking about. Nothing really goes down there except for the fact that Djust used his Flash and Sideways Horizon used both his Flash and his barrier. And now NTF is taking some damage. But Nettie gets KDR with the clutch pool. The Stranglethorns does go down. KDR is just going to barely survive. Now we see Inspire and Inti Health are both very low. The ACL is going to come out. Restless Mofo will block that, but they cannot defend this tower now because they are so incredibly low. Restless Mofo will try to do something here, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to do much.
Yeah, and Blitzcrank Sabin.
Sabin gets hit by the Blitzcrank. That is going to be him going down. The Lifeform Disintegration Ray is going to be very, very nice. Habibi getting out of there if he can, but he's not able to. All three go down, and a nice turnaround for TNL.
Yeah, definitely. In T-Health, on the Blitzcrank, got a really nice hook on Sabin, who was overextending and disrespecting the engage from the Blitzcrank and the Lee Sin. And then Lee Sin goes in and insects the Caitlyn in, straight into the Vel'Koz ulti, just eats the brunt of all of that damage. And then some nice geometry coming out from Sideways Horizon, picking up that kill. 3 for 0, just nice clean play, and it gets them the Cloud Drake, which, in my opinion, is the weakest Drake. It's not useless, but it isn't the strongest of Drakes.
Alright, we're gonna stop talking about dragons now.
Enough about dragons. Dragons are good. They're better than not dragons. That is the bottom line. We can agree upon that, correct?
Yeah, we can agree it's better than just getting 300 gold for killing some kind of dragony thing. That was not fun. Any case, gold is exactly even as it stands right now. 1 tower, 1 dragon on each side, 5 to 6 in kills. Very, very close game at this 20-minute mark. We're going to have to see this game break open pretty heavily in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh,
like
and in
the
the top
happening
lane.
up in the top lane as Sabin is taking the long route. Cell Dweller is going to flash out of that Rengar leap, but he's not going to be able to escape the 3-man gank. He does fall.
Oh,
Habibi dodges the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but he does have Stand United to get through the hook. Ace in the hole goes on to Inspire. Now Inti Health is in danger. Neko Waifu is going to try and chase down Inspire, but he's not going to be able to make it. Inti Health is very, very quick. Can D just get the angle on him to get the taunt? He can. This is going to be Inti Health going down. Lightform Disintegration Ray has been popped, but he's not able to track the targets effectively enough to pick up another kill. That's going to be 2 over to the side of NYT.
Yeah, and now Vel'Koz doesn't have that ultimate, and that is a very strong ability, especially on this fed Vel'Koz. He has 100% kill participation on his team, and without it, he will not be able to just hold them off, and will lose that mid tower. So gold lead going in favor of NYT right now, about 2,500, but now D-Just in the bot lane.
Just is going to taunt over this wall. Get Cell Dweller against the wall. The Strangle Thorns will go down. They're waiting for Habibi to come in to provide some more damage. He is going to back off, though, but we do see that Sabin has popped the on the punt, I think.
Oh, I have a little freeze here.
It's frozen for me, too.
Spectator client in 2017.
Lol. Also, apparently Chad is making fun of us. That's great. Good job, Chat.
Well, we were having a very heated discussion about elemental drakes. So, it is somewhat warranted. A lot of technical issues with the Spectator client right now. Is there another freeze for you? Or?
Yep, it's still free. It's still frozen. It unpaused, but then it's paused again.
Yeah. Spectator client is not liking us today.
I think it
looks like we're back in, though.
Just remember, folks, maybe we can't cast, but we are casting. If you don't like it, you can leave.
Well,
anyway. Meanwhile, in the
regardless
actual
of our
game
casting
of
skills, yes, our casting and arguing over drakes, we definitely see some favoring going over to the side of NYT, but it's not that much of a difference, as there is a drake on each side. The gold lead is only about 2,000, which isn't that much right now. The important thing to note, though, is what towers are down, as the bottom and the mid towers are down on the side of TNL, and NY Timberlands have only lost their top tower. So if they want, they could send the Shen bot lane and split push, while they send everyone else top lane and just siege it down. And if TNL tries to like do something else or just like try to trade, They could even pressure the Baron, as they're all going to be already top lane right next to that Baron.
Yeah, that's a very, very strong decision that I think that NYT could certainly make there, and I think it would be the right decision.
Oh, but Habibi getting melted.
Habibi, yeah, that is going to be 2 ultimates used for him there. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow not necessarily needed, because Sideways Horizon pretty much had that kill secured with the Life Form Disintegration Ray. But Enchanted Crystal Arrow will come back up soon enough. But now they do have pressure in this mid lane. They should be able to pick up the tower, considering there is only 2 to defend it, and it is Sabin and Kadiog, and they're not going to be able to do a whole lot. So that is going to be a turret going down, and now the pressure is starting to equalize. Both mid towers are down, and D-Just duking it out with Restless Mofo in the bot lane. This is going to be kind of an uneven fight. D-Just has way more health. He is going to need to get out of here, though, because here comes the rest of the team. He's now in a 4v1. He can very easily taunt over this wall, though, if he is able to get to the wall. Inti health prevents that. He goes down.
Yeah, kill going over to the Blitzcrank, not the member that they want most likely, but still a kill nonetheless. But they're all on the bot side, and NY Timberlands are starting up the Baron, but they won't be able to finish it in time, and it looks like they're just going to pull off of it. But they are somewhat low now, and it looks like that TNL is actually going to go down the mid lane and shove it down, and if they're all recalling because of their low health after that Baron, then they might lose out on that top, or the mid lane tower. And it looks like they're not rotating fast enough, too.
Habibi is going to stay up in this top lane to pick up the farm, but Cell Dweller is here. This is going to be Habibi going down. There's nothing he can do in this particular instance.
Oh. Enchanted Crystal Arrow whiffing.
Does miss.
Barely going by the Zyra, sadly.
The Grasping Roots did manage to land, but not a whole lot to capitalize on there because the team was a bit spread. Not a whole lot. Still, not a whole lot going from a lot of these team fights right now. It seems to be the picks that are more favored between these two teams.
Yeah. And right now, the game has just completely equalized. The gold lead is exactly the same. The tower amount is exactly the same. The score is exactly the same. They both have 1 Drake each. And right now, the Infernal Drake is coming up, which is... I believe a very strong Drake, the strongest in fact. But
can we give it a rest, please?
Yeah, okay. My opinion is that it is the strongest Drake, and it has spawned, and it will be contested, and it looks like KDR is gonna get picked off for it.
He is going to end up going down for this. He's trying to clear the wards very unwisely, and I think we can all agree on that. In any case, this is a Drake that is happening. We will not make any more comments about its viability. Cell Dweller in the top lane. He's getting awfully low here. He may be able to outplay Neku Waifu if Neku Waifu didn't just have a button that made him invincible for 3 seconds and then do tons of damage. So, welcome to Riot's balancing team. Cell Dweller goes down there and will pick up the Infernal Drake.
Yeah, and it's not going to be too much of a issue that Cell Dweller is dead, because KD Arg was already dead. It's only a 4v4, although he is up right now. But they are just going to get this mid lane tower and then back off. And now they have a tower plus a dragon. The gold lead is still dead even right now. Less than about 100 difference. And we see that the Vel'Koz pick is just carrying them through the team fights, and just the pick from the Lee Sin and the Blitzcrank and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, although the past few have missed, has been very successful this game, as they are just finding members left and right that are overextended.
Yeah, it's not really a game of team fights right now. It's definitely a game of picks, and this is a game that Sabin should be excelling in because he is the pick champion. But so far, I mean, he's had some very significant impact, but it's actually Inti Health's Blitzcrank, Sideways Horizons, Vel'Koz, and Cell Dweller that's been reaping the most rewards from this pick kind of skirmishy fights that they've been able to progressively do as the game has gone on.
Yeah. And we see this Echo is starting to get his items. So it might be possible that the Echo could possibly pick off the Ashe, but in the top lane, looks like the Echo's going to try to pick off the Vel'Koz, but not getting it.
Yeah, Saban is actually going straight in, though. He has a lot of damage. He just is able to pick up a kill. Inti health going down. The life form disintegration rate does good work. Everyone is absolutely melting thanks to the side of Sideways Horizon. If he's able to get some good geometry, he might be able to pick up the other two. They do break off. Saban and D just getting out with barely slivers of health. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Cell Dweller is just pushing like a monster, like a Fiora, I guess you could say. Full health, and he wasn't even in that team fight. That was a 4v5, and NYT completely lost it.
Yeah, and I think you might be a few seconds behind of me in the spectator, so try fast forwarding a bit. But,
okay.
Yeah, we see that they went in, and it looked like they had a decent engage at first, but the turnaround from the Vel'Koz, as well as all of that pick just locking them down, actually, turns it around into a really good team fight for TNL, and they pick up an extra tower off of that. And now the Goldies is actually in their favor, as well as them having 2 Drakes to the 1, gives them more power over this game, although it is still very close.
Definitely, this is a very, very, very close game. I believe I fixed my issue with the spectator client. I'm currently at 30-36.
Yes,
I think we're
synced up.
We are synced up now.
Spectator
We're
client
gonna have to
having
see
a lot of issues, but
teammate here. KDR actually gets caught by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but there's not going to be any follow-up there. So that's another Enchanted Crystal Arrow that does decently, but doesn't really have an impact. You hit someone, and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, and to anyone who just tuned in and wondering about what's happening with the stream, the spectator client is bugging out a lot, and we are fast forwarding to compensate for any freezes that it has currently. So you'll see some skipping around and then fast forwarding. Apologize about that, but there is not much we can do about it currently, so just gonna have to endure it for now, as the mid lane tower is being sieged by NYT.
Alright, here comes the on the hunt for Saban. He's looking for something. He's looking. He's not going to find anything. We're in the top lane again, by the way. Here's Cell Dweller and D-Just hitting each other with noodles. Literally.
Well, D-Just has more of a shiny, glowy stick. And then Cell Dweller actually has a super noodle that actually can do damage to tanks. So we could actually see some 1v1s going on from the top laners when they are split pushing. Although, as long as D-Just is using his W properly to block the auto attacks and Qs from the Fiora, he should be able to manage and not die. Although we shouldn't ever really see Cell Dweller die, because Shen does not have enough damage to solo her.
Yeah, there's really no reason Cell Dweller should die in this 1v1, but it's entirely possible if he tries the tower dive, but I don't think he's going to. Spectator client, please.
Yeah, and we see that NY Timberlands are now setting up Baron control and looking for something in the top lane. Saban might be caught out though. Oh my.
He's going to get caught by the Blitzcrank hook as he tries to Q away. He's going to immediately go down from the combined damage of 4 of the members of TNL. This is starting to look rather dire here. Now Neko Waifu's going in with the Stand United shield. He's going to have to ult out there as the client freezes in the middle of a team fight. Stranglethorns goes down. That catches 4. But they're just going to use it to disengage because there's nothing they can do here. D-Just is going to fall to Cell Dweller. Neku Waifu is in their sights now. Cell Dweller is going to try and chase him down, but the grasping roots from KDR discourages the pursuit. And now TNL is on the Baron.
Yeah, and if you're having client freezing like that, just speed back up to live. It's happening to me as well, so I believe it is a server issue. It looks like TNL is going to be picking up this Baron, as there's no real way to steal it. Inti Health looking for the hook onto the Zyra, not getting it. But now they have the Baron, they have control, they have the gold lead, and there is another Cloud Drake up. And a little more on the Drakes. I actually agree with you that once you start stacking Cloud Drakes, they actually become pretty powerful, as just one Cloud Drake alone doesn't do that much, but a lot of
Are we back
Cloud
on the
Drakes
dragons again?
No, I'm agreeing with you now. A lot of Cloud Drakes together actually are fairly strong, as they will amplify the movement speed a lot, and they will allow you to make actually really fast rotations.
You're just utterly determined to make chat hate us, and I love it.
Well, we're agreeing for once about the Drakes. I mean, is that not okay?
No, because Twitch chat wants controversial opinions because that's the real money.
Never mind. Cloud Drake always sucks. Never good. But Habibi saying
Getting caught out here. He's goodbye. He's goodbye to an auto attack.
he was
And that's
frustrated
going to be
about our
another
comments about the Drakes and was like, I'm gonna go in, show them that the Cloud Drake isn't as strong as they say, and pays for it with his life.
This is what happens when you challenge the Cloud Drake.
And oh, 3-man stun. and
Neku
he's gonna
Waifu
ulti
is
out.
going to get the stun and ulti out. Very, very nice. My client is still bugging out, and I can't fast forward now.
You can
That's gonna be
at
nice.
all.
34:51 now.
I'm at 55, 56. You can't fast forward at all.
No, I can't. I'm a second behind. I cannot fast forward.
NA clients, boys.
NA clients.
I was having the same issue on EU when I was casting last week, so it is a persistent issue. I don't know what's up with it. It happened when I launched it both through the new and old client. I have no idea what's wrong. I have no idea how to fix it, but we're still able to watch the games. This is actually a fairly exciting game as well, so hopefully these technical issues don't take away from this game, because it is actually a very nice game to watch. As we see the very uncommon Vel'Koz pick that has been very successful right now, 706, and he's able to just counter the siege and poke from the Caitlyn and just say, well, you have guns and plants, I have laser beams. And just
Lasers.
melting them. And we see the siege in the mid lane with the Baron. The Caitlyn traps will try to deter it a bit, but it looks like they're still going to go for it, as there are some noodle slappings going on in the top lane.
Inti Health is up here. I like to watch his movements because this Blitzcrank is going to be where most of the surprise picks are going to be for TNL. So if we watch Blitzcrank's movement, we should be able to pick up where they're trying to focus here. Cell Dweller is basically just distracting in the top lane. He's gonna try and take towers, obviously, but he's doing it more to distract Shen so that Shen cannot taunt the rest of his teammates. And take some towers in the meantime. Cell Dweller is going to get back on to D-Just. Restless Mofo is getting attacked in the bot lane. He's going to be fine. Neku Waifu tries to run out of his own base, but gets killed for it.
Yeah, gets cooked into the Lee Sin kick. Dragon's Rage is going to make Neko Waifu rage right there, as he is just deleted. And, oh, Inti Health going for the flash up, not connecting. And
yeah, this is the Stranglethorns going down, but there really isn't anything left for NYT to do. And that is game over to the side of TNL. I wish someone had told me if this was a best of series or not.
this is a best of 3.
Best of 3. That's game 1 over the TNL. I'm making vague statements about a lot of things to make controversial opinions in chat. I'm Kettle Purdue Dude. That other guy is
Epic Death Guy.
Epic Death Guy.
This is a very, very
Epic Dragon Guy. We're gonna...
lackluster finals. We are going to go into wait screen and prepare for game 2. So sit tight, guys, and we will be back shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, and memers one and all, welcome back to the Nevermind.
Oh boy. Gonna go back to the wait screen as we figure out what's going on. Oh gosh. It looks like we're gonna be gone shortly. But I guess we'll just have some discussion. So that last game, it was really even for most of the game, up until.
It was even up until it wasn't.
Yeah, up until TNL actually just took complete control of the game and just ran through it. I mean, once they got, ahead and they got a lead, even though it was small, they just kept adding pressure and kept building upon it. What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna agree with you there. That's
agreeing about
really
one thing at least.
There's really not a whole lot for me to add. I mean, they won because they won.
Yeah.
They stepped up and they really played that very well as the game progressed. I'm sorry. I was sitting over here. Yeah, I'm nodding, and I'm like, oh wait.
I'm casting. Wait a minute.
Yes. So we're just waiting for the teams to get in, but really, yeah, TNL stepped up. Once they started getting more progressive and more proactive with their decision making, the game really opened up for them. Despite their lack of Cloud Drakes, they were able. Well, actually, no,
they had one.
They had one.
They actually had two by the end of the game, I believe.
Oh,
correct?
well, there you go. See, they had 2 Cloud Drakes and they won. Obviously, Cloud Drake is the best.
Obviously, that is how it works.
Meme me up, Scotty. So we're going to get into the game just as soon as these teams finish up everything. Really not a whole lot more to talk about in that game. It's just a very clean win by TNL once they finally stepped up, got over their jitters, and just started to play their win conditions.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, NYT's team should have probably been better throughout the later phases of the game, as TNL's team just didn't have that much, not as strong of a team fighting. I mean, they definitely had some team fight power, but it was mostly in that Vel'Koz, and they didn't have a super strong front line. It looked in favor of NYT as the game would progress, but instead, it was slightly in favor of NYT, and then it was even for a long time, and then actually, TNL won throughout the mid and late game of Game 1, so which is quite interesting. I mean, despite the picks, they still won, which means that they actually have really good map pressure, objective control, and just vision control to make those picks.
Yeah, it's definitely something that they were able to prioritize in that game and give them a very, very significant advantage from that. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling all over my words. I am not used to having to talk before there's anything to talk about.
But it looks
Thanks,
like we are
teams.
in.
Yeah, we are back in. So let's see how the pick and bans go. Do we expect any major changes in pick and ban after that last game?
A true hunter never
Oh, that Rengar is loud. Surprise Rengar. Not really.
No,
I mean,
not really.
You left your
both
brave
teams
pants
did
at
fairly
home.
well. It wasn't
Want
any
me to
team
wait while
comp
you go
issues,
get
I
them?
think, for either side. It was more execution on the side of NY Timberland, as they just kind of fell throughout the later phases of the game. And I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think TNL should switch anything up, as they had an okay early game. The top and mid won, and then Ashe wasn't even that far behind against Caitlyn Zyra. So I mean, if it's not broke, why fix it?
It's the
Although
last
it looks
you'll
like they will
get.
have to fix it, as the Ashe and Rengar are already taken out.
Yeah, those two were fairly integral
My
members
genius
of
will be
the
understood eventually.
of the lineup for TNL. I just realized that again they are not in LCS order, so I'm like, wait a minute, Cell Dweller isn't the
But I'll
ADC.
come back stronger.
Inspire obviously missing just about every one of the arrows he fired, but
He hit a few.
the few that he did hit
Yeah.
were very game changing. So I will give him that. His arrows were game changing when they were hitting people, and
Are you
I felt
certain?
like
Where's
the
the
Blitzcrank
jungler?
had more impact though than the Ashe for those
very
picks.
much
So
so.
I think that maybe they should have just banned out the Blitzcrank, but maybe they say we're just gonna leave the Blitzcrank up. We think that we can handle it this game. We got last game out of the way. We know what happened, what was wrong, and we think that we can handle the Blitzcrank. And the Jace being picked up, so already a lot of changes in this pick and ban. New champions are going to be picked, as some have from the last game have been banned. It's strange that NY Timberlands banned the champion that they played themselves, though, the Rengar. I guess that they were not confident in Saban's play on it and don't want it to go over to the side of TNL into the hands of Restless Mofo. And the MF Alawi hover? I saw there was some memeing going on in the chat from Alawi support. I think it's just a hover from Inti Health, though.
This is a respect hover for the chat. He's going to go with the Zyra.
Yeah. And again, a really strong bot lane. Well, actually,
The
a strong
bot
bot
lane,
lane
to be
in the favor of TNL this time. And we saw that they did fairly well last game with, the weaker bot lane in, like trading stances. So with the stronger bot lane, I want to see what they can do, because their bot lane showed up pretty well last game. I mean, the Ashe did, as you said, missed a few of those enchanted crystal arrows, but other than that, the Ashe and the Blitzcrank played fairly well, especially the Blitzcrank pick. And I want to see what they can do with the Zyra instead this game, especially taking that away from NY Timberlands. The Varus was left open though, which is very important actually. But
the Malzahar is still open as well.
Yeah, but I mean, Malzahar does kind of get soft countered by the MF because she can kill Voidlings really fast, so I'm not too certain if they want to pick that. But the thing is, NY Timberlands already has 3 ranged damage dealers, and I mean, that's a lot of AD. And if they pick an AP, it'll have to, then they won't have any tank. And if they pick a tank, they won't have any AP. Unless they have a tank support or like an AP support or something.
I've got the perfect solution here. Rumble.
He's not really a front line. I mean, he can he walks in front, but he's not a strong front line. He will get melted by the other picks there.
True, very very true.
I think that if they go for like either like a Braum or a brand support, and then like if they pick Braum, then go for like Maokai or sorry, not Maokai, for like an AP damage dealer, like a Rumble would work. Or if they pick like a Maokai in the top lane or like a Nautilus, then in the bot lane pick like
there we go.
or Singed. I mean, he hits all the bases, although...
Yeah, he does. He really does. But he hits them in the reverse order while getting killed 3 times and then laughs about it.
Yeah,
so
he's going to be hitting the base of TNL, doing laps around the Nexus.
Yeah.
Proxy,
3 lanes at once. Hey! I called it!
The Malzahar, yeah. So that is the AP support. But
looks like
that
NYT
is the
just
top lane
terrible.
Jace, actually. So
yes.
That will not be flexed to the mid lane. And instead it's a Victor, which means that they will have AP, but they do not have a front lane. They are all ranged, all squishy.
Yeah.
And if the Hecarim can get in there and they CC those targets, look at their comp. I mean, if those 5 squishy members on NY Timberland are grouped up, the Misfortune ulti, the Zyra ult and Root, the Hecarim will just run in there, stampede their team, and then the Vel'Koz Lifeform Disintegration Ray will melt all of them. It is an insane amount of teamfight damage on the side of TNL.
Then Aurelia just does Aurelia.
Just anyway. Jumping around, slapping people with blades.
Yeah, they get him really low, and then Aurelia comes in, Q.
5-man pentakill with Q reset, yeah. But, I mean, they have... Oh, God. They have so much wombo on the side of TNL.
Yes.
And NYT has no front line. They are so squishy. They'll just get melted if they're out of position. So
this is entirely
it's so risky.
It's relying entirely on NYT's ability to completely and totally, in every possible situation, outplay TNL. And we saw in last game they were not able to do that consistently as the laning frames progressed into mid-game and into late game. They were not able to do that. And beyond that, I mean, hey, their pick and ban is just as bad as the pick and ban in my head. They picked the Malzahar into Zyra and Misfortune. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, Malzahar doesn't really lose that hard to MF Misfortune, although MF can kill the Voidlings really fast, as I mentioned, because of her Q and her passive just will slap them, 2-shot the Voidlings, and I think her Q might 1-shot. I'm not exactly sure about that. I know her auto 2-shots, but it definitely will be able to melt the Voidlings really fast. It is kind of a soft counter, as MF support is also able to be picked into the Malzahar. Just a little thing for the MF support players. But, yeah, I don't know how I feel about the draft. It's all so squishy. So squishy. They just get... I mean, they have a lot of poke. I will give them that. Varus, Victor, and Jace, just if they can poke down the members from TNL before an engagement, then TNL will be just as squishy as they are, and maybe then they can win a fight. But I think that the Malzahar does not need to go damage this game. I would like to see him actually go for a Locket and a Redemption on Malzahar. And I know that's not what you want to build on Malzahar, but I think it's what they need this game, because they're going to lose without that Locket and then the Redemption to follow up on that.
Ask not what your team can do for you. Ask what you can do for your team.
You cannot build full
Malzahar.
AP. I mean, I'd like to see him get AP items, but I think he needs to just prioritize the team fight safety items. And after that, I would definitely like to see him go for a Rylai's and then Leandri's after that. And I mean, it sucks because like Rylai's is so good on Malzahar. The slow allows his Voidlings to chase much better. But with the nerf coming out to the W and with the team that he has against the team of TNL, he needs to just go for the safe items.
He does need to. The question is, will he? Is the real question here.
And if he has a solo queue mentality, he's going to build full AP.
Because the question was, will they pick a tank or will they pick an AP? They picked an AP. Will they pick Malzahar or will they pick a support that doesn't get countered by Misfortune and Zyra? They picked Malzahar. So it comes down to will they when we're talking about NYT in this game. They are down one game. If they lose again, they are out, and TNL secures the cup. So
there's a cup?
There's a cup.
Why not a bowl or like...
It's the Das Boot Cup.
Or a plate. The Learning Fives NA plate. I mean, the winner of the NA finals will have a shiny name tag in Discord for Learning Fives until the next finals. So, or the next...
We just talked through the entire spectator delay about nothing.
Well... We talked about plates.
Fraser.
We talked about plates and Malzahar support. That is top tier casting, if I may say so myself.
We are officially the Fraser of League of Legends casting.
Well, we are going to go into wait for a few seconds while we load into the game. So sit right tight, guys, and we will be in shortly.
All right, everybody, we are into game as soon as the champions appear.
Yeah, this is another spectator bug that I encountered last week as well as my co-caster. So
yes,
we will have to wait this out. But we should be in shortly. Gives us time to organize our champions, as they are not in LCS order yet.
Because they're not in LCS order. Well, the NYT is because, you know, they're nice people. Okay. So we're in the game. Things are happening. This is game 2 of NYT versus TNL, the finals of the NA Learning Fives Championship. The winner of this gets a shiny Discord badge, internal fame in the Discord for about an hour, and some kind of virtual plate that were totally just made up on the spot.
Virtual plate cup. I'd like to say that both of these teams are, I believe, the highest ranking teams in Learning Fives, as most of their members are Platinum or Gold. So definitely strong competitors coming out here. But enough about learning fives, the players, let's focus on the game. As we see the ADCs both going for the longsword 3 health potion start, I like that they did this because this is
do too.
This is the standard build nowadays. You're gonna go for lethality ADCs. You go longsword and 3 health pots because you can just get right into those items, as well as any poke that you take during lane. You have more effective health because of those health pots. So it's a really nice adaptation that we have seen from most players, who are adapting.
The players who are adapting have a nice adaptation.
Yeah.
Welcome to the English language.
As we see both junglers starting bot side, Malzahar actually coming to leash late, running over saying, wait, I'll give you a Voidling or 2. Gonna drop it and walk away. He used 1 Voidling, which is the correct thing to do, I believe. Or in my opinion. As I have played some Malzahar support.
He didn't actually get the red buff yet. There we go, he got the red buff. Alright. Walked away before the final hit, that was unfortunate. But everything's fine, everything's groovy. Just gonna be some standard jungle starts. D-Just playing a very aggressive laner now. Instead of that Shen tanky top laner. Gonna be a much more exciting lane in the top lane. We might not actually see a super noodle fight.
Yeah. The Jace opting into the Doran's Blade, I think maybe he could have gone for the longsword start as well, although I'm not too certain about Jace builds as I don't know top lane that well myself. But it definitely will allow him to sustain up if he's taking a lot of trades with Irelia, although ideally he should not be, but you never know.
You never know. Good.
Something that I want to note is that Hecarim actually started with health pots, I believe, unless he didn't start with any pots. If I check the gold
Either
amount,
possible.
he didn't. He did spend his gold. I think he went 3 health pots.
Yeah.
And he used all of them. If we hover over him, he doesn't have any ticking, so I'm not too certain about that. But I think he should have gone for the refillable potion and then upgraded it to the flask for jungle. But Hecarim in the top lane not getting a successful gank off, being spotted out. You saw the pings coming out from NY Timberlands. They actually have really nice map awareness and they're collapsing.
Sabin, he's going to go on. Restless Mofo is going to try and get out using the Relentless Pursuit, Reckless Charge. Let me check that name real quick. The Devastating Charge to get out using D-Just as a mobile escape. Kadiog in the bot lane taking a fair bit of damage there. Not a whole lot else going down. I sped up so I could get back to live.
Yeah, and for anyone who just joined in for Game 2, there are a lot of spectator delay or issues currently right now. There's a lot of freezing going on with all spectating.
Case in point.
So we will have to speed up after a freeze. So after every fight, you might see some ×2 speed until we catch up to live. But won't take away from the gameplay. We will see everything going on. And
some of it will just be really fast.
Speedy, speedrunning League of Legends. But
there's actually leaderboards for that.
Is there actually? Is it for custom games against bots?
No, it's first tower, complete a game, 50 kills, stuff like that. There's the training, and then there's also one guy who did a speed run to level 30. So that was pretty fun.
Oh, but
there's Habibi getting caught.
Low.
Yeah, he's going to be caught by the glass grasping roots going very, very low. He is going to be able to walk out of that, though. Like you said, the effective health from the potions means he can eat about 3 of those trades without having to go back.
Yeah, but Sideways Horizon in the mid lane having to back, but he used his potion too. Now, a quick thing for you guys out there who, play lanes. If you're in a lane and you're planning on backing, do not use a health pot because that's another health pot that you could have just had. You're just wasting 50 gold, and he does do that, which it's not that big of a deal, but every little bit adds up, and it's just a small waste. So, I mean, it's basically like throwing away 2 or 3 minions worth of CS, so you just don't want to do that.
You do not. Being frugal is good advice in general. And we like giving good advice and learning fives. I mean, this is learning fives after all. We're supposed to be learning something.
I thought this was memeing fives.
Memeing fives, indeed. My phone is vibrating in my pants.
Well, luckily it's only your phone.
Okay.
But we see that Vel'Koz actually got a recall in the mid lane and did not miss that much CS. So even though he didn't, had the health pot effectiveness wasted, he is not that far behind in CS. and actually is got a good recall off and came back, and now Victor is having to recall because he's just out of mana and Vel'Koz will shove him in. So their mid lane is pretty much dead even right now. Top lane is dead even in farm. Jungle is fairly even. I mean, everything is dead even. Gold is dead even. This game, take a guess, is dead even.
I'm dead, even though I'm technically alive.
Well, I'm not, as this game is looking to be very interesting. I mean, it's quite slow as a start, but that'll just lead to more exciting and even mid game, in my opinion. Well, hopefully exciting. It leads to a potentially very exciting and even mid game where we can see some really nice fights. But in the top lane, they don't want it to be slow anymore. They decided they do, though. Gonna disengage it.
They decided they didn't want it to be slow, and then they decided they wanted it to be slow again.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff happens.
I want to point out that there's a nice amount of word control from the side of TNL that looks to be somewhat unmatched by NY Timberlands. And oh, just
well, there's
super
Neku
low.
Waifu. He's getting caught out here by Restless Mofo and Sideways Horizon, but he is going to be able to sidestep basically everything. Sideways Horizon is going to use a Lifeform Disintegration Ray, which means Neku Waifu is gonna have to flash out in addition to his ghost. That's both summoner spells burned. Restless Mofo did use his ghost as well, but now Neku Waifu has no flash.
Yeah.
So if Restless Mofo can return, that's a very easy gank.
Yeah. The Lifeform Disintegration Ray from Sideways Horizon was burned, so he will not have that. So that relieves a little bit of pressure from Neku Waifu. But as soon as that's back up, the Ghost and the Flash are still going to be down. That's no summoners against the Vel'Koz, who can just unleash the beast with a Hecarim charging in there, stampeding into the mid lane. And Victor has no real escapes, so if there is a repeat gank in the mid lane, as you mentioned, that is most likely going to be a kill going over to the side of TNL.
Yeah, it could happen. It could go either way, gonna be honest with you. Really depends on how it's played. Like we said earlier,
In the top lane?
Selldweller and D-Just, they're gonna do their thing. No one's really gonna die from that. But what I was trying to get across here is that
Oh my, Sabin, what are you doing? Oh my. Oh.
he's gonna get it. He's going to not have the blast cone. He's going to use that wall to get out, though. Nonetheless, using the quick draw. Didn't even have to flash. He gets out for free and gets away with the red buff. Ballsy move by Sabin.
Really, and if he was just a second later, he would have died there. I mean, Restless Mofo, being level 5 without flash, doesn't have any way to get over that wall. So once he was over, he was a free man, and I mean, that's really good. He stole the red buff, and now we see in this jungle, there is a 400 gold lead, and the Graves has almost double the Hecarim CS. And you have to remember that the CS numbers are very dependent on which camps they are taking, but it is still a gold lead for the Graves. And taking away that red buff will make Graves have a lot stronger ganks. Comparatively, Hecarim is a better ganker, in my opinion, if lanes don't have CC. But the Graves with a red buff will have decent ganks actually, and it makes the Hecarim's ganks weaker. So now the ganks are actually more evened out. And Sabin is pretty strong, but oh, KDR might be caught out.
Yeah, Restless Mofo is going to use the charge, but unfortunately, he mistimes everything, and there goes down 3. Neku Waifu is going to go down to the Lifeform Disintegration Ray after picking up the triple kill. Now Sideways Horizon is running for his life from Sabin and Habibi Poppy. It's going to be Katie Ugg and Neku Waifu exchange for Restless Mofo, Inti Health, and Inkspire. A bunch of things happening down there. That was a very strong Victor. Everything.
Yeah, and now they are going for the Mountain Drake. And it's a pretty strong Drake. It allows them to get objectives. We're not going to go over the strength of Drakes. We're not going into it.
We're not going over it.
It is a Drake. Drakes are good. That's good for them. They won the fight. They get a dragon lead. And this will allow them to get the towers that are currently still up. They do have pretty decent tower taking, as they have all range members and a lot of AD members, so they can definitely siege down these towers very well, and the Mountain Drake will help them with that. But there's definitely still a very large risk of when they are sieging, they get engaged upon. And that has not changed. Even if they are ahead of this game, there is definitely still always a possibility that TNL will be able to turn it around throughout the game. So
TNL has proved they can before. I firmly believe that they can again if they play it correctly. And laning phase has been shown to not be their strongest side. Sideways Horizon, he does not have flash. He is going to go down to this gank. He will do everything in his power to deal damage to Sabin before he goes down, but it is not enough. They're going to be able to pick up this mid tower most likely. Nope, Hecarim's here. Restless Mofo will be able to defend this tower, and it's full health.
And I believe that Sideways Horizon actually had a perfect game last game. If not, he definitely didn't die until very later on. And we see he already just died in lane, and Neku Waifu is actually doing really well on this Victor pick. Oh, but just in the top lane? Getting a little chunked out.
He's going to continue to... That's going to continue to happen as he goes up against Zeldweller, but he can pretty much diss out the damage. Oh, Habibi Poppy catching out Inkspire.
Oh, ate the full ultimate.
Out. Oh, and he does end up going down. He was not able to get out of the ultimate fast enough. And the double up plus the auto attack love tap was able to get him. Neku Waifu now caught out. He's going to get hit by the full thing, but the gravity well saves him because it cancels the life form disintegration ray.
Using the flash though. Walks out. Gonna be summoner down in the mid lane, and we saw that when Neku doesn't have a summoner, it does create opportunity for Sideways Horizon. But in that bot lane, Habibi Poppy just ate the full bullet time from Inspire. And what's going on in the mid lane? Was there a Malz? Okay, I thought there was a Malzahar ulti for a second. I'm just having a seizure right now because of the auto camera. It is not going well today.
I kind of want TNL to win just so that we can stop dealing with the spectator client.
Yeah, the spectator client is
Don't
not...
quote me on that.
Sideways.
Misses the ultimate.
Well, I mean, that would be nice and all, but I'm actually very much enjoying these games as they are very competitive.
Exactly.
These are probably the best L5 games that have been played this, you know, L5 session, in my opinion. And it's sad that it's kind of being spoiled a little bit by the spectator issues, but definitely still very good gameplay and very good to watch over.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very good game. D just going in here. Inti Health and Inspire are both going to go down basically immediately. Habibi Poppy picks up one. D just gets the other. 6-3 now in favor of NYT.
Yeah, Jace just runs down to the bot lane and smashes them with a hammer. Looks like they're going to go for that bottom tower, and Restless Mofo is there to try to stop it, but I don't think that he can. Looks like he's just going to have to concede it, and I think that he probably should have just tried to do something somewhere else, and he lost his red buff in the meantime. Neku Waifu living with a sliver of health. Where is he? Sliver of health.
And yeah, there was a life orb disintegration ray happening, but it didn't end up killing him.
Yeah, first brick going over to NY Timberlands. And this game is definitely looking very good, but so was last game. It wasn't this much of a lead, though, so maybe this game is enough for them to transition into the mid and late game and close it out.
Well, to be fair, Sabin at this point was 4-0.
Yeah.
And Neku Waifu wasn't doing particularly good, but Sabin was on Rengar, was he not?
Yes, he was. Yes.
Yes. So he was already doing very, very well at this point. So.
And we saw how that ended up.
Yeah, kills are now focused onto the Victor, which is a good decision. Neku Waifu will have a lot of impact throughout the majority of the game.
And mid tower just being taken out right in front of their eyes. Oh, Neku Waifu's so low though.
Inti Health going very, very low. Inkspire gets hit by the Nether Grasp. He's going to fall to D-Just. Now KD is getting low. Restless.
Oh my.
Is resting now in pieces. That's another 2 for NYCT, and they're able to pick up a second turret here.
They were beating the dead horse there. He got annihilated when he went in. And they just didn't have that team fight they were looking for. Irelia doesn't even really need to be there for them to have that turnaround, but it's nice to have Irelia there. She didn't teleport in. There weren't really good wards set up behind them for a teleport in. As you can see, the wards from TNL have actually faltered, and NY Timberlands have a great line of wards set up throughout the jungle. I mean, just look at that vision. All throughout the jungle. In the upper side, and in the lower jungle, although it is being cleared out slightly right now. But definitely very good ward control.
Very, very well done by NYT. They're able to come back into this game. This is looking much better and better for them as the game progresses.
Oh, in the top lane though, maybe this isn't looking good for them. Oh.
D-Just is going to get out with just a sliver of health.
And the Infernal Dragon being started off.
CNL is going to try and take this. NYT will want to contest, so we'll have to see how this team fight progresses if the spectator client wants to cooperate.
Yeah. We are sped back up to live as the downtime. And even though D-Just is 202 on the Jace, we see that this Irelia has just been farming up a storm, and gold-wise, it's not that much in favor of D-Just. I mean, it is a solid, you know, what, 400 gold? So it's not, like, too little, but, I mean, this Triforce power spike for Irelia is just incredibly strong. She's just leaping around and smacking around D-Just, and oh, looks like, oh, she's gonna walk away. Just toying with her food a little bit. But Infernal Dragon being started out in front of TNL, and
Izzy health getting very, very low here. The Victor ultimate is going to end up picking up both of them. Now Sideways Horizon is going to go down. That's another 2 kills for Neku Waifu, absolutely controlling this game now.
Yeah, really nice ulti from KDR and play from Neku Waifu, just annihilating the whole team. And Sabin securing the Infernal Drake too. Everything went in favor of them that fight. No deaths. Infernal was secured. And it looks like they're going to be going for the bottom tower with a giant minion wave down here. I mean, this has been so clean. They haven't had a death in the last, how long, 10 minutes or so? Really great play by them. And now they're going to get another tower too.
Yeah, they're playing this very, very well. This is almost
stark
definitely
difference from last game where they threw their lead, or, you know, through the even game. They are just running through this game and playing cleanly and smartly.
This is almost certainly going to be going to a game 3 if this continues to progress as it is right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to make note that the Malzahar and the Varus have decent pick potential with their ultimates, and there's not too much real like long distance pick on the side of TNL. They do have the Zyra roots, and they have, you know, the Vel'Koz who can throw out some skill shots maybe, and then the Hecarim to engage, but that's it. They don't have that, you know, like, they can't just throw out the Varus ulti and just, like, grab, like, a squishy target safely from a distance. They have to go in there, and all their stuff can easily be avoided, too. It's either skill shots or just a melee champion, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we see that the pick is actually really good for these two teams, as they're good at getting control when they're ahead and making the picks that they need to win fights.
Yeah, this is so interesting because, you know, we were talking about how NYT's team comp has no tank, it has no front line, but here they are winning fights left and right against a team that by all rights should be utterly destroying them.
Yeah, and that's just mostly due to the lead that they have in gold, as well as an extra Infernal Dragon to help buffer their damage in fights. But they're often fighting, TNL is fighting without all their members often because they're either getting picked out or just out-rotated, which the rotation thing is an issue, but the picking thing is a bigger issue in my opinion, as, oh my, Zyra was melted.
There goes Zyra. It's another member down.
Yeah.
And now they're just going to continue to poke.
Oh my, Jace barely scraping away.
I feel bad for Sideways Horizon because he's doing everything in his power right now, but he does not have enough damage to deal with the threats on NYT at the moment. Neku Waifu getting caught out in the middle of the opposing team. He is going to go down after almost picking up a kill of his own.
Yeah.
That's all we can see right now.
Overstepping a little bit, Neku Waifu by himself, getting caught out and dying. Sad to see a death come up when they were playing so cleanly. And that looks like it's going to be the end of the top lane tower siege. The end of an era.
The end.
But
Dyrus has gone.
Still, I mean, the big thing I think is that Sideways Horizon did so much last game because he had so much money. This game, they made sure not to let that Volkaz get kills. And I mean, he didn't even get an assist on the Victor there. He's just not been getting what he needs to deal all the damage he was last time, although he is still dealing damage on Sidebin right there.
Indeed, he is. TNL is looking to set up a siege of their own, and this is something that they can do fairly decently themselves. Sabin.
Oh my word.
Is that Deathfire Touch going to kill him? No, it will not. That was
He went
very,
down
very close, though.
to about 10 HP right there. So low. Oh, KDR possibly looking for Cell Dweller. Not going to get him, though. He's going to walk away. And we see this game has slowed down quite a bit. The pace at which NY Timberlands have been moving around has been slowed down substantially. And TNL has actually got a nice ward lane set up throughout the upper part of the map near the Baron. They do have the superior Baron control right now. They should not go for it. It is way too early. Baron is still too strong for them. And they are behind, so they will get annihilated if they try to play around it. But definitely denying the coverage from NY Timberlands is really nice.
Yeah, it will certainly serve them in good stead if they ever do get a situation in which they can go for the Baron, because that could certainly turn the game around.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're behind like this, making risky plays is either it's possibly a high risk, high reward situation, depending on what it looks like. But if you're behind, you might just want to say, look, it's high risk, but it's also high reward. If we go for this Baron, there is a chance that even if they have 2 members down, we still get killed and we still lose a fight. But we need to do this, or else we're probably just going to lose the game anyways. And it's going to be interesting to see if they have the opportunity, and I want to see if they seize that opportunity. And if they do, I would like to see them do that. I think it would be the right play too. Is they just need to go all out here.
Cell Dweller is going in on Sabin. He's getting awfully low. Cell Dweller is able to pick up the kill. He's going to pay with it with his life. That's a 1-for-1 trade. Cell Dweller for Sabin. The tower in the top lane does go down. Sideways Horizon and Inspire are here.
Yeah, and now the next dragon has respawned, which is an Ocean Drake.
That's another dragon.
Yes. And so far there have been 3 different drakes, so there's been no real like all power in one dragon. As if there was 3 mountain drakes, obviously they'd have really good objective control. If there's 3 cloud drakes, better rotations, 3 infernals, better at fighting everything, and 3 oceans, better at just poking. But they've kind of just had a bag of mixed dragons, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They have objective control, a little bit of extra damage, and a little bit of sustain. So it's,
yeah, and there will not be a Cloud Drake in this game because there were the other 3. So
Yes.
this point, it will be another Infernal Drake that is coming up. So we will be able to see, hopefully, some more damage coming out. Maybe even, depending on how the game goes, it's possible TNL could sneak a dragon if they can force the enemy team into a different lane. If they can allow the top lane to freeze, have them send a member or 2 up there, they might be able to sneak the dragon. But now they're pinging around Baron.
yeah, and NY Timberland is setting up Baron control right now. And they can kind of just do what they want, although they are walking straight into a Sideways Horizon, who will just walk away. If there was more members there with Sideways Horizon and Inti Health, they actually could have gotten 2 kills right there. So not grouping up properly for a pick, missing an opportunity that they could have seized as a team. And they just need to be grouping up and looking for picks right now, or looking to just find someone who's out of position and just fight and force a fight like when the situations are in their favor.
They need to play well, is what TNL needs to do.
Play
here.
good, win game. That is what they need to do right now.
Korean advice.
Simplified.
Really what they need to do is just collapse on wayward members. Like you said, they need to be able to make picks because they're not going to win a team fight at this stage, but they should be able to get picks with the team comp that they built.
Yeah.
So if they're able to do that, it will certainly go well for them. But we'll have to see whether that's possible because they are now 8,000 gold behind.
And they're walking up. Just,
And walking back.
yeah. TNL grouping together, though, really well. Looking for opportunities. Not getting caught out. So definitely playing much safer and smarter, but it might be too little too late. As there's definitely a very large gold lead. Almost 8,000 in favor of NY Timberlands. I touched on the itemization from the Malzahar earlier before we got into the game. He has opted into those AP items. Now, I think that the Rylai's first is definitely okay, but I think going for the Leandries after that is unneeded, as they don't need more damage, they need more safety. Because right now, if Vel'Koz and MF get a good ulti, their team is dead. And now Hecarim going
Restless
in.
Mofo's going
by
in.
himself, though.
And that's going to be Life Orb Disintegration Ray, followed by the Bullet Time. Cell Dweller is going to die to Sabin. That's going to be a 2-for-1. Neku Waifu did go down in the ensuing damage. It was a risky play. They were able to pick off one.
It wasn't executed perfectly. They didn't walk up all as a team. Restless Mofo kind of got antsy and just ran in by himself. And Cell Dweller wanted to follow up and just completely committed and didn't even get the kill on Sabin. So 1 for 2. They do slow down this siege a little bit, but it's still not what they need. And right now, and the more items that NY Timberlands gets, the more damage they'll have, and hopefully they'll get some defensive items, as right now they can still get trampled over. And I mean, once they have, you know, a Locket and some GAs on some of those squishy members, it's going to be much harder to win fights. And I mean, even just the Graves, getting the Phantom Dancer and like maybe a Black Cleaver or something will be a strong front line, but oh my.
Low. He is going to need to back out there. One thing I want to highlight, though, is that even though they did trade 1 for 2 there, TNL was able to get the shutdown onto Victor. That's a fair bit of gold going over into the pockets of Cell Dweller, who is their principal form of strength at the moment. He's doing the best on the team. So getting him a little bit more gold was certainly advantageous, even though the trade overall was not advantageous.
Oh, but the Baron being started up.
The Baron
is
is
a little
started.
risky. They know that they're
Restless
on
Mofo
it.
does have his ult. This could end very, very badly. There's the bullet time into the Relentless Assault.
Finish the Baron.
Inti Health, they got the Baron. They got it. Restless Mofo is able to pick it up.
They lose a
traded
player,
Inti Health.
but in the bot lane, Cell Dweller almost getting a return kill. And that's so big. There will not be a Baron on the map for the next 6 minutes. Or 7 minutes, correction. And oh my gosh, what? That worked. The bullet time zoned them off. Relentless Mofo, as a Hecarim, charges in. He says, I could either chase for kills, or I could just take this Baron. Thank you very much. And walks out. Inti Health does give his life for that play, but they can definitely just buy time. And now that Inti is up, they actually have Baron. They probably aren't strong enough to just butt heads and win a straight 5v5 with, you know, no real advantage. But, oh, this might be the advantage they need.
Cell Dweller getting hit with a bunch of abilities here, but everyone's gonna back off.
Yeah.
Again. Inkspire getting caught by Neku Waifu, though. This is very bad. He's going to need the flash out of that. But no one died again. The team fights fizzling out left and right as this game progresses.
Yeah. And, you know, right there, I'm not going to mention it too much more, but if the Malzahar had a Locket, that bullet time wouldn't have been so devastating, because
Very, very true.
there's so much AoE damage on the side of TNL. Locket will counter that so hard, and the Hecarim
Restless
getting
Mofo's
caught out.
dead.
Oh my.
That's bad. That's very, very bad.
Yes, not good at all. Giving over another Infernal Drake, and now the next dragon that will spawn is going to be the Elder Dragon at around 3630. Roughly the same time that the Baron is going to be spawning, so that's going to be 2 objectives on 2 separate sides of the map at once. So we'll have to see if maybe they somehow trade objectives or something. But right
entirely
now.
possible there.
Oh my.
He just getting caught there. He's going to need to flash out to avoid the life form disintegration ray. Sideways Horizon very low. Saban's not going to be able to pick him up. Inspire taking some damage on the backside there. And the game resets again.
Yeah. And a little more about the oh so blessed dragons that we love so much. The next dragon will be Infernal, and since NY Timberlands has 4 dragons, all those dragons will be amplified by 50%, and the Elder Dragon damage buff will be amplified per dragon that they have. So it'll be the base amount plus 4 times that amount as well, which is going to be insane damage coming out. They're going to have, what, basically an extra Infernal Drake, and then half a mountain and an ocean. I mean, that's incredibly huge.
It is absolutely huge for them.
Huge. Big dragons, big damage.
Big.
But if they lose the dragon, it'll be fake dragon, sad.
Sad.
Enough memeing and scheming, though. We see this game come to a slowdown as there are no real objectives left. And we see that TNL has been cleaning up their act. They haven't been dying as much. They've been getting some return kills, getting some objectives, and getting a really nice ward line down. I mean, they have good wards in their jungle. You can see that their whole upper jungle and lower jungle are warded up. So they will see anyone walking through. Although it is being cleared out by KDR right now, but I don't think he's going to be able to clear out all of it. Wards, gotta love him. Oh!
Cell Dweller goes in on Neku Waifu. He's gonna get him awfully low, but he's going to walk away.
Two fights going at once.
Able to pick him up, and Saban goes down to Sideways Horizon. Those are good picks.
And TNL doing it again. They're so good at making picks. I mean, I don't know how this is happening, as NYT can just be grouping up and just poking them down, but instead they're getting caught out, ran over by the Hecarim and Irelia, and getting caught out by the Vel'Koz burst.
Take that outer tower. Do it.
Oh,
there it is.
And it goes down.
Woo! Second tower for the side of TNL.
Yeah.
We might not have a game 3 after all. We probably will.
Possibly not. It's definitely in the realm of possibility that TNL comes back now. And I mean,
Ultra Dog asks, how hard would it be to lose right now? Let's try.
oh gosh. I mean, as long as NY Timberlands just group up, they're still strong. I mean, they don't have a tank, and they need the locket on the Malzahar. I don't like bringing it up so often, but it's so important. He's able to save these members. A lot of these people that are getting caught out and dying, the locket will be enough to save them. A lot of these team fights where they're getting chunked really low, the locket will prevent them from getting so low, and they can keep going in.
And he could put
with 4 damage threats, they don't need more damage on the support.
Yeah, and if he gets the locket, another thing he could do is he could put a nice little picture of his favorite League of Legends meme in it, and he'll always have it close to his heart.
Oh gosh.
Cell Dweller trying to chase down D-Just. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but in the mid lane,
Life Form Disintegration Ray.
I think that was a little bit over aggressive. It is a minute cooldown, and it will be up shortly. The waves are being pushed out in favor of TNL right now. They're setting up the waves, although they aren't getting that top wave right now. They're going to be losing some of that CS. Oh, there is some extra lag. Love this spectator client. Good job, Riot Games. Quality
It's
spectator.
usually so fine, and then sometimes it just goes, D-Just actually is going to go down.
He was like,
wow.
he was thinking, oh, this is going fine. Might as well make this just explode. And he makes Jace explode. And I mean, right now, I mean, do you guys know the meme where the dog is just sitting in the house on fire?
Yes.
This is
Yes,
fine.
that's
NY Timberlands right now.
This is fine. or more accurately, it's like they just lit someone else's house on fire, but then instead of making sure it burned to the ground, they left, and that house put its own fire out and then threw the fire onto NY Timberland's house, and now NY Timberland is like, this is fine.
I mean, this is just how? Why? What's going on? This is the second game.
I'm trying to give more stuff for Twitch chat to make fun of me for. Okay.
Gosh.
Cut me a break.
You're having a field day with Twitch chat right now. But up in the top lane, it looks like NY Timberlands might have an opportunity. What?
Opportunity?
Oh,
Cell Dweller?
I think they have it.
Can he
Oh
have
my,
it?
Cell Dweller!
If he got a 3v1, he's going to get a kill.
That
was
was
aggressive.
so important for Soul Dweller. He gets the return kill. Both of the objectives have spawned up. Baron and Dragon are up. And it looks like TNL is looking for the Dragon, while NY Timberlands is setting up for a Baron. This Dragon, they deny the Dragon. This is so good for TNL, because even though they get the Baron, and the Baron does last longer, NY Timberlands, they don't get the Dragon. And I talked about how good the Dragon would be for them. The Baron is always going to be okay. It's always going to be good. This Dragon, it doesn't do that much for TNL. It does help them. But what it really does is it denies it. The denial of that Dragon is insanely important. They give it up, and this is...
And
oh my.
And let's remember that Habibi Poppy does not have the Baron. Cell Dweller will not have the Elder Drake as well, but if he's just going to be split pushing, he won't be team fighting anyway. But Habibi Poppy not having the Baron means one member does not have the empowered recall, and that he also doesn't have the minion push, so he can't respond to anything.
I doubt that Habibi
waves.
Poppy should be by himself, though, so he probably will always be with a member that has the Baron, so it's not.
Yeah, but he
that
won't
big an
have the
issue.
empowered recall.
That is more important, as if they're all recalling, he might get left behind, saying, "Team, wait, don't leave," and they're like, "Okay, thanks, bye."
Thanks, bye.
Oh, Hecarim in the mid lane.
Relentless Mofo is relentless. Saban is going to fall, but so is everyone else. Cell Dweller is a monster,
the return from Habibi.
though.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
This is insane. Habibi didn't hit the final Q on Sideways there, I think, which would have killed him.
Yeah.
And he had
That's
3
a 2 for
W
2.
stacks on him. That definitely would have killed him. That Vel'Koz would have been a dead armor sack. I mean...
Filet-O-I.
Gosh. This is too much memeing. I'm gonna need a rain check on these memes.
That is the sound that the what face makes, by the way. Ah! In any case, a 2 for 2 is definitely in favor of TNL right now. They trading even just allows them to prolong the game to a point where they can come back in. In addition, I wanted to highlight the fact that they got the Elder Dragon, and despite everything, their comp is the stronger team fight comp. They have the Wombo. They have the ability to team fight as a full team with a front lane, a traditional front line. So them having the Elder Drake is massive, in addition to it not being on the side of NYT.
Yeah. I mean, the Elder Dragon has worn off. Or, no, sorry, it's about to wear off. It is just a smidge left, so it will probably be off before the next fight. Although, oh, look at that poke coming out, and KDR just burning away from that Baron, or Elder Dragon. The Baron is going to be for a little bit longer. The member with it is the Malzahar. He is the one that is grouped up, and the only one with it there, I think. I don't know who else has it. Jace has as well. Yeah. So there's 2 Barons left, and that is about... 4/5 of the way donezo. So only a little bit of Baron left. The Elder Dragon has worn off by now.
And look at Cell Dweller. He's still in that bot lane.
He gets a
He's
tower.
gonna keep pushing.
And I mean, this gold lead...
He's playing the Smurf, and I love it.
It used to be almost 10,000. Now it's down to 4,000. It is definitely much closer. Bullet time coming out. Oh, freeze just in time. Love it. Inti health getting chunked out. Did you have that freeze too, right when the bullet time happened?
I actually was behind, so I didn't actually get the freeze, believe it or not.
Lucky you. I was just feeling the bullet time. The adrenaline was coursing through my veins, and it
That's
just...
2 towers for Cell Dweller now.
I was gonna point that out after I was talking about my adrenaline pumping.
We don't
bullet
care
time.
about your adrenaline. Oh, there's a freeze. Cell Dweller in the bot lane. D-Just is here to defend, but we saw Cell Dweller take on D-Just under tower.
Okay.
I don't think Cell Dweller's afraid of that tower at all. He just wants to make sure that the
KDR.
KDR, he
overstepped.
Dead. He is dead. That's an open inhibitor right there.
Yeah. Cell Dweller in the bot lane, just chunking away at it. No minions
the minions
yet.
are gone. The minions are gone.
Yeah.
Damn. That was so close because having a person down, having D-Just having to fight Cell Dweller, who's so strong right now. The rest of them will have to immediately back off, but they were able to peel off enough that Cell Dweller has to leave. He's going to do actually a kind of a SOAS here to get away from a rotating team, and now he's in the top lane pushing this tower. Cell Dweller just absolutely doing his best. His Shen is good. His Aurelia is stellar.
Oh my.
He is Cell Dweller.
You're pulling out the Twitch memes. Oh god.
Someone in chat said it, but they said it wrong.
I'm pretty sure that was Reese who said that. The head coordinator for Learning Fives.
Yeah, well, he did it wrong. So, come at me, Reese.
Picking a fight with the head coordinator. Don't know if that's the smartest move, but
okay, the
TNL picking a lot of good fights out actually, and have completely closed his gold lead almost. Only about 2,000 difference, less than actually. And this is now a game where TNL can win. This is
now a game.
And yeah, it is now a video game called League of Legends. But NYT has to be scared. I mean, last game, this is exactly what happened too. And Baron going to be up in a minute 30. This is going to be probably what this game is going to revolve around.
Definitely. This is amazing to see TNL come back from this and maybe even win.
If they win, this will be an amazing comeback, but
yeah. I mean,
NY Timberlands would have to feel
that much.
Devastated after that. I mean,
yeah.
That's where you grab, some ice cream, you just plop down on the couch and just watch some Netflix. I mean,
if I knew the tune, I would sing "Into Each Life Some Rain Must Fall," but I don't actually know the tune. So
probably copyrighted too.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if your cover, which would be an exact replica, would be different enough. So
yes, obviously. I am pitch perfect, so I can sing every song with abject perfection.
Yeah. Gets copyrighted by Twitch when you're so perfect, as Can Opener Dude is.
Yes.
My
chat has a rule. My chat on my channel has a rule is I cannot sing because it'll ban my broadcast because I'm that good.
Oh, yeah. That's the reason.
Yes.
I was gonna transition. Yes, the other thing that is perfect is TNL's late game. I mean, they have been just playing so smoothly when they were so far behind. They just took some trades, 1-for-1s, maybe 1-for-2s here and there, but now they have been winning those fights, and this is just incredible to watch. NY Timberlands have a good early game. Both games they had really strong early games, but now they're just losing out in the late game again.
Holy crap. High Doyle's right. They're not throwing hard enough. We need more dragon. Oh god. Itzy Health is dead.
Oh my. And
quickly
now
talk about dragons.
And I mean, this is an opportunity now. They're missing a member. The Baron is still up. They should pop that Blast Cone so Hecarim doesn't have a way in besides using the ulti, which would mean he is forced to die. So the Blast Cone is taken out, and that's actually very important because that denies Hecarim one way of getting in. So now he has only one way in. All in.
All in.
But it looks like they're not even going for the Baron, so doesn't look like Hecarim is going to have to charge right in there. Instead, they're sieging top lane, and a giant minion wave in the bot lane. Cell Dweller going to have to clear it out. It's pretty... Oh my, Cell Dweller's gold just skyrocketed. He has 2.4 thousand gold, but they lose the top turret, and that is an open inhibitor.
Yeah.
And if they can somehow siege this down, although it is too risky right now, that will be very important for them. Oh, KDR walking up again.
KDR gets caught, but so does Restless Mofo. I keep calling him Relentless Mofo. Here comes the bullet time. The bullet time is now canceled. Sabin going in. Why did you do that, Sabin?
KDR and Sabin both walking up, disrespecting TNL. And I mean, Restless Mofo did get melted there, but those two members on the side of NY Timberlands just getting caught out. And it was a 1-for-1, and the jungler was down. Now it was a 1-for-2.
And their jungler's down.
Yeah, so they can't go for any objectives. They could have potentially went for a Baron at that point because there's no way for them to steal it. And I mean the now you're getting me to do it.
Yeah.
Restless Mofo was a big part of the initiation, as he was the one able to dive and like disrupt the backline, which is the whole team of NY Timberlands.
Cell Dweller, he's gonna immediately he's going to get a kill before he goes down. He's gonna pick up a Neku Waifu. Very good 1-for-1 trade, but will it be enough? Because Cell Dweller is worth enough at this point that a 1-for-1 trade, trading his life for another member of NYT, is not enough, I don't think. But they may be able to sneak a Baron here with the wards being cleared out.
Yeah, and what happened? What went wrong? The Malzahar is still building straight AP. You have the Victor for magic damage. You have plenty of damage from your top Jung and ADC as well. Just buy a Locket. Just please buy a Locket.
Or Redemption.
I'll pay you to buy a Locket. I mean, Redemption would be nice too, but Locket blocks the initial damage. The reason Locket and Redemption are really nice together is first, Redemption increases the shielding amount from the Locket. Second, Locket blocks damage and buys time for the Redemption to come down, as Redemption will be delayed. And Locket just gives protection until that Redemption can come down, which basically makes it really hard to kill any members, which is why the combination of the two items is so good. And again,
they're going to trade Baron for Dragon again.
Again, I mean, I don't like this trade. They have 4 dragons. They don't want to lose that Elder Dragon, but they're not going to get the Dragon. What? They're going up to the Baron? No!
No,
TNL, you can't! No!
You can't! No, don't throw on the
You can get the Dragon!
The throwing.
Get the Dragon! No! What? Ah, they're backing! Go for the Dragon, please!
Go get it! Get it!
They're not getting it! What is going on?
No,
they're going for it now, but I don't think they can melt it down fast enough. Oh no! NY Timberlands are coming! Oh, this could be the throw!
Oh god!
They should have just went for the Dragon! That was a good trade!
Client's freezing!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Everything is going wrong. Client is going wrong.
It's gonna come down to a 50-50. No, Cell Dweller's got calm. He's got GA, so he'll be
the bullet time though, damage!
Matches too.
Incredible bullet time.
The Dragon is now. Who's hanging out in that pit?
This game, it just exploded. And they're gonna get the Dragon still, I think. Sabin isn't there to steal it.
Yeah, they can get this now. Sabin went down. What
is this game?
I don't know.
Oh,
can you believe that 2 hours ago we were arguing over Drakes, and now I feel like we've been through Vietnam together?
Oh my lord. I don't know if that is the same amount of intensity. I might say, but this is pretty intense. I will give you that.
You could call us Indians because we are intense.
Okay.
Had to fit a terrible pun in there somewhere.
I don't know. This game has just been insane. This is just a back and forth. I mean, both teams misplayed there. They were like, "You can have this game." No, you. And like, they're just trying to give the game to each other right there. I mean, both teams playing so cleanly up until now, but then both of them making really large misplays, in my opinion. Misexecution of the Dragon. I guess dragons are the hot point of this game.
It's like a Canadian version of the Dignitas versus Renegades game from last year. It's like, no, you throw. No, I insist you throw.
It's more like I throw. No, I throw.
It's someone's throwing. Everyone's throwing. Throwing it back and forth so much.
Throw your hands in the air if you just don't care.
This is basically handball. Where's that Scara gif of throwing the Baron plushie?
Just needs to be a dragon instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some hot dragons with some fiery breath.
Uh-oh. But that's an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, they were all bot lane for no reason. They're just getting I think players are getting worn out. I mean, this has been going on for a while. This is a 50-minute game. This is second game.
But Cell Dweller.
Oh my. Oh, the initiation.
Restless Mofo, the rest of the team just has to hold them here. Cell Dweller can win if they can hold it.
Cell Dweller TPing in now, but 2 members already down. This is an inhibitor. 2 inhibitors down. Oh my.
Why, Cell Dweller? You had it. You were the chosen one.
He could have got the inhib. He wasn't going to be able to defend it. He could have just slapped down it's dead anyways. Doesn't even matter. Cell Dweller calculated it.
Calculated.
Calculated play. And
Korean plays.
oh my, this game is... I mean, he didn't have to burn the TP either. He could have just recalled normally. I think the TP was a bit, you know, of a waste, as now, if he tries to split push, he has no way to get back to his team.
Right.
So that's going to be quite, you know, important if there's a fight going on. But top lane, no inhib for either team. Mid lane, no inhib for TNL. And I'm starting to think that the players are starting to get worn out.
Yeah.
Just starting to. Just a little bit. I mean, I'm definitely getting worn out. This is definitely a long series. I casted a game... when was it? I don't remember. There was an L5 match that went 68 minutes, I think. Let's see if we can beat that with this.
I'd like to point out that Cell Dweller has Flame Horizons.
Holy, 518 farm on Cell Dweller. I didn't really make note of that farm amount, but it's not a Flame Horizon. Flame Horizon is double the amount.
No, it's 100 more.
All right, we're having another argument.
Okay, whatever. The thing is that Cell Dweller has a lot of farm. We should be aware of this fact that Cell Dweller has, in fact, a lot of farm.
Yeah.
They're going to defend this last inhibitor turret with everything they have, though, and there's no objectives on the map. The Baron's up in 2 minutes, so this is really going to come down to who flinches first. And with this being an almost 60-minute game, it's going to be a big flinch.
Yeah, we can argue about terms all we want, but right here, these players are just holding their breath as an initiation could happen any second. Super minions flooding the top lane, though. If we look up there for a second, please don't start a fight while I'm looking away. There are 2 super minions up there, and they are going to
They're starting a fight!
Oh my god, what is going on?
Things happen! Mecha Wipe!
No!
That's the entirety.
I was looking at minions!
Holy crap, that's the entirety of NYT
Oh my just!
They're gonna have to clear the base.
They can't. I don't know if they can end yet, as there are minions. There's no minion waves, and they are having to clear minions in their base. So it's not game over yet. Baron is up in 1 minute, and they might actually be able to. They're going to be able to set up for it and take it before.
They're gonna be able to take.
Well, they will be able to set up for it, and NY Timberlands will have to run over there in the meantime. It will be respawned as they are spawning, so they will have time to do it while NY Timberlands are still dead. And it looks like Hecarim is just going to tank up this tower, and they're going to take the mid lane turret. I don't know if they can get 2. They can definitely get 1, though.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take this one. They should back off here, though, because they do not want to overcommit in this instance.
I think that they can get it. There's only 1 member up. And they will melt it with that MF that has the love tap. Just smack. Look at that damage.
Smack.
Smack.
That damage. They also have 2 Trinity Force users, so, you know.
Yeah. And now is where they have to back up. Baron is up. They are too low to go for it. This is risky. They will be followed. But they do want to. They do want to get ward control of it on the way out, and they definitely don't want to concede that Baron for free, because Baron, when there are super minions, even if you have a dragon, it is still hard to clear them out. The dragon does deal true damage, so it definitely helps a lot against minions that have Baron buff with the added resistance. But super minions with Baron buff are nothing to scoff at. I mean, they're disgustingly strong. They can just smack down your base right in front of your eyes.
I'm surprised that Inti Health wasn't actually putting up wards during that entire thing. He was helping Sideways Horizon clear the minions, which is useful, of course.
But Zyra not, you know, adding too much to Vel'Koz's, so probably just not what was needed. Oh my, Cell Dweller.
Neku Waifu is getting engaged upon by Cell Dweller. There's the bullet time. Sabin is dead, and everyone on TNL is alive. Katie Arg is getting caught out here. Cell Dweller is very, very, very low, but he's going to be able to survive. That's another.
Why am I looking at this?
Down.
the camera was going to the back line when Hecarim was chasing down Varus. I don't know why, but it was.
Ask if I know.
And it looks like they're backing up and going to the Baron.
Yeah, this is a good decision.
It's safe.
Haven is down.
They potentially could end with 2 members down, but this is the safe play, and I respect that. They don't want to risk it. They say, we just need 1 win. We can play it slow and steady. We're winning these fights. We don't have to really worry about it. I mean, they have a gold lead now. Oh my, Sideways getting really low though. Actually getting taken out.
That's big. That's big.
They are missing a member for. Oh no, what's
Cell Dweller
taking out 2?
Dead.
It's 2 kills. They have Baron,
Which
but
team can throw harder, guys?
I mean, yeah, they got the Baron, but did not get a clean exit. Weren't walking around as 5, taking weird pathing too, walking too close to the wall, and getting punished for it. And now, I mean, there's 30 seconds where there are no members, or are no Cell Dweller and Sideways Horizon. When all members are up.
Like
when all members are up, yeah.
Yes.
It is 50 seconds left. And Graves and Malzahar are still in base, so it is a 3v3, but they are just going to walk up, take the inhib. Dragon is up in 141. Also, everyone will be up for that.
Can I just say that Inspire just put Make It Rain over himself there?
Questionable. I didn't catch that.
Chat's getting impatient, guys. We need more memes.
Not too set on the chat right now. More interested in what's gonna happen with this nail-biting game. I mean, I don't have any nails left. They're just gone. Like, I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot or something. Because this game is just insane. Back and forth. In 57 minutes in, both teams have been playing fairly well. There have been misplays by both sides, but also really good plays by both sides. So a very exciting game to watch. Not perfect League of Legends, but definitely very, very... I'm looking for a good word. I want to say...
Very
adequate.
Matched league. Adequate League of Legends.
Moderately good League of Legends. I mean, they're playing well.
It's
like,
within 200.
They're not playing LCS caliber, but they're definitely showing a good performance, both sides. So it's definitely entertaining to watch, and they're not even playing bad. They're playing macro decently well. They are getting caught here and there, and that's the biggest difference, I would say. They're getting caught a little too often, but both teams having a really nice performance. And oh, this might be an initiation. Restless is really close, and he's running in, and it's gonna slow down, but he goes in.
There's the
Zyra flashing in, she gets melted.
She's gone.
Inti, what was that? The dragon is up. 5v4. It is only the support, but that is a member. It is 5v4 now.
Maybe if true.
In favor of NYT. And don't start this dragon. Don't start it.
Please.
Okay, they're just clearing it out. But they're running down mid.
Okay, they're running it down mid.
They're going a little hee-hee here. And NYT looking to... No, they're baiting it.
No.
They're forcing the recalls.
They're baiting the back so they can get the dragons.
And they might even get Cell Dweller. They caught Cell Dweller by himself. The other members recalled. No Baron buff. Just is really low, though. Oh my, no.
Who can throw harder?
They thought they caught Cell Dweller, but they were the
Dweller.
ones caught all along. And just goes down.
They can try and take this. They can try. I don't think it's a good idea, though. Apparently, they're going to go for it.
Victor gets it.
Get it!
Victor gets it.
Victor gets it. Oh my god. Who can
And
throw harder?
Restless Mofo smited it too. He miss-smited, and it went over to the mid laner. Sabin didn't even smite. He was just like, yeah, I'll let my mid laner take this. I'm fine.
I got him.
Confident in the Victor dragon securing. So, a little bit of miss-smiting from both junglers, but definitely, this is... Oh my.
Still no luck.
This might go to a game 3 now. I mean, oh, they took a lot of damage from Sideways right there. Oh, but he took a lot of damage. He might get sniped. The Zanya's coming out. But will he be able to get out afterwards? Oh my, he's getting taken out by the dragon buff. He's killed.
No, he's gone. That's game.
Without the mid laner, yeah, I don't know if they can defend this.
They do have Cell Dweller back.
NY Timberlands has the Elder Dragon. They have super minions flooding in from 2 lanes. They have their top laner. Will they be able to close it out? They're getting so low. Wait, no. No.
No.
Oh, wait. They get Inti. This is a no one.
Inspire is very low. His name is not Inkspire, it's Inspire. Blue turret down.
This is going over to NY Timberlands. They have this game in the bag.
It's done. It's done. 61 minutes in. Game's over.
This is going to a game 3. 61 minutes in. Strap yourselves in, boys. Take a restroom break. Grab some popcorn, because we are going at it again. Game 3 of the Learning 5's NA Finals. We will be back shortly. Stick around.
on to what we love. Risk the fall, or we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. A solo ride of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last light.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 3 of the finals for NA tournament here. We have a great game here between Team Neverlate and New York Timberlands. You may not recognize my voice. Some of you may if you've been following along previous series. I'm Nabiri. I'm filling in for Can Opener Dude as he had to go. But I'm joined here in Champion Select, as always, by EDG, Epic Death Guy. How are you?
I am exhausted after that last game. It was quite the
Are
match.
you certain?
For anyone who's just tuning in, as Niberia is, there was a 60-minute game last game. It was so back and forth, and it evened out the series in a 1-for-1, and NYT got their win. So now it's going to Game 3. It's all on this, the finals for NA in Learning Fives.
Yeah, we just cannot seem to get away from these long games, can we? Because last weekend we had similar game times in EU, and then before that, I remember you had a 74-minute game with Zeta, I believe.
I don't remember. I get all the long games. They give them all to me.
Yeah, you seem to be a magnet for long game times.
I mean, it lets me talk about the macro, but
Yeah.
already rushing right through pick and bans. The Rengar taken away, the Jhin taken away, and the Vel'Koz, the big thing, taken away. We saw Sideways Horizon so influential on that Game 1 and even Game 2. Now it's gone. What do?
So the Shen pick, did I miss something or?
Shen was played Game 2, and I believe Game 1. I can't quite recall. But the Shen was pretty useful in just protecting people and negating picks. Although I believe that it was Game 1, I think. I'm trying to remember the pick ban. Yes, it was Game 1 that Shen was used. And I don't even think Cell Dweller was the one that played it. I'm not sure, but either way, Restless Mofo getting the Lee Sin again. He played it Game 1. No, Game 2. No, Game 1. Game 1, he played it.
It was so long ago.
This
Who
is-
can really remember?
My brain is fried, but it was in Game 1, I believe.
Oh.
As he was comboed with the pick comp. And both teams actually have a lot of pick already. The Kha'Zix and the Ashe are going to be able to pick out targets, and the Kha'Zix will assassinate them. And then the Lee Sin can insect people. The Varus has the Chain of Corruptions. And then the Blitzcrank is a Blitzcrank. So both teams, really high pick. And we saw how both teams used the pick throughout the game. I mean, these teams won off of making picks. So this is really important.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen Blitzcrank. I'm certainly excited. Oh, I've seen this comp before
We
though.
did see Blitzcrank earlier, and it worked out really well in favor of the Blitzcrank. And the Malzahar picked up on the opposing side now for... Oh, no, sorry. It's on NY Timberlands again. So, got it Game 2, and now Game 3. And the Fiora hover by Cell Dweller again. Cell Dweller. He played it Game 1, I believe, against the Shen. I can't recall who played which. But Cell Dweller has shown really good prowess on the dueling champions, especially the Irelia last game. It's not banned, and he's against a Maokai, so Fiora is a little bit better at tank busting, but the Irelia did so much work last game, I kind of want to see it again. But I'm content with the Fiora pick. Although, again, low tanking team compositions from the side of TNL. Not having a real solid front line, and the Gnar hover, don't think that's going to be locked in. That is supposed to be their jungle, their mid lane.